Hi everyone, welcome back to the Mom Rom-Com, your go-to podcast for everything motherhood, where we keep it real, relatable, and sometimes chaotic. I'm Gunjan, I'm Palak, and today I'm going to take a moment to acknowledge how literally no one prepares you for the emotional roller coaster going back to work is after having a baby. Seriously, Palak, before maternity leave, you're like, haha, I go back to work, it's going to be a cakewalk. But then reality hits. Your baby is on one side, then there's your office and your exhausted mom brain that's running on zero sleep. True, and you're forgetting mom guilt. It's like the biggest scam out there. So true. I think for all of those who's tuning in right now, for a brief introduction, both me and Palak, we are working moms, and today we're going to share 5 tips so that the transition of going back to work is easier for you, your baby, and your family. Okay, let's get started with the first one. The first big question is you need to decide who's going to take care of the baby. Is it going to be you? Is it going to be the nanny? Is it going to be the grandparents? Or is it going to be the daycare? And you can't leave these things to the last minute. Whether if it's a daycare, you need to do the trial runs, you need to get their names on the list. And if it's the grandparents, you need to start getting them involved into the routines so that they know what the child wants, at what time he needs something. Basically, the transition is smooth for the baby. Exactly. And it is very important for the baby to trust their new caregiver and for the caregiver to also be comfortable with them. Yeah. So while, there's so many conversations around this, people talk about that adjustment period. Nobody really talks about what the mom goes through. So, you prepare for the baby settling in, you want to put everything around them that is comfortable, creating that comfort zone. But when you step out of the house, you are not prepared with what to do for yourself. Like the mom also goes through a lot. Yeah, it is a difficult thing to tackle. Yeah, I think true, Palak. What you're saying is it something that not widely spoken where is now. Yeah, I think the mom goes through equal bits of separation anxiety that the child goes through. Yeah, we are as much used to the baby with us for the entire bit ever since they're born, like ever since they're conceived, they're with us. They're practically living inside of us. So the mom that steps out of the house to go to a job, she goes through equal amounts of separation anxiety as the baby. So I made the decision after analyzing everything between the nanny option, the daycare option, and the grandparents option. I picked grandparents. Now, I went ahead with my mom taking care of him because I think I did a lot of research to understand what babies really need in their first 1 year of life. And all they need is a lot of comfort, love. I really wanted that every time he wakes up, there is somebody to go and tell him, greet him, good morning, and do nice things for him. So I thought my mom is that one person who is just as excited about him as I am, and hands down she's been taking care of him like how I would want her to. So after analyzing and looking at pros and cons and everything else, I think I picked grandparents and I'm very happy with that decision. Yeah, I think more or less what matters, whatever decision you choose, I think for a working mom, what you need to be, I think anybody who's tuned in with us right now, what is most important is pick any option that gives you the most amount of peace while you're away from your baby. You should know, you should take pride or take comfort in knowing the fact that my child is taken care of and he's in safe hands. Like this, I chose the daycare option, and I did my share of research. I did my share of picking him, putting him in one daycare, then pulling him out of it. I did not like the hygiene standards, so I did my share of research and success rate, failures, then eventually stumbled upon one that I felt that Ayan is the safest. Same in your case, like nothing better than having your kid with your mom. Like that's the safest case in the world. I think that is why the first and the most important thing one needs to conclude is the care for baby. Yeah. And once that is sorted, then maybe you can move on to the next step. Yes, yes. I can moving on to the next step, Palav. I think we should start by going not full throttle. We should always take baby steps. True. So, what has been your strategy in this zone? I think I went very unprepared. Yeah. Like I said, like I did not know how things will be for me. Yeah. But then when I entered office, I realized that it is very difficult to stay away from the baby.
But I do you read to him. Yeah, just like, yeah, exactly. Because we've been ambitious. Like, we've been so ambitious all our lives.
Yeah.
And then now, today, I enter office at 3 p.m. I'm thinking if I should already make a move and end the day. So, yeah, that's where I am.
I think more or less what you could do in this case, you can have your candid chat with your, with your boss and maybe ask him for some hybrid option or maybe some work to remote days. Because I did that same thing when Ayan was, the whole maternity was ending. I initially took a 6 months, remote job so that here while Ayan is settled in the daycare and most of all, I am settled with the fact that I have to be away from him for a certain hour in the day. And, I gave myself those 6 months and then I took an on site job. But I was confident that, I can be away from him without having men downs every 2 hours and he's taken care of in my absence.
I think India, mein, it's very difficult to get such options where he can easily work remote. So I think that is one problem. But also, like with this journey, I have realized that the first most important thing to do is accept the fact that you cannot go full throttle while you are ambitious and you want to achieve greater things in life. It is not possible to do that immediately as soon as you join. Second is working out a schedule. Like you said, it is very important to work out a schedule for yourself.
Yeah.
Can you do flexible hours? Can you do maybe a day or two work from home? Whatever works. And the third is just have zero guilt in asking for what you really want. Like this time is never gonna come back. The first 1 year with my child, first 2, 3 years with my child, that one chutti, I will take it. If my boss is getting disappointed for 2 days, it's fine. But my baby is never gonna be this small again.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I think we need to accept and we need to be very vocal about what we want.
So true. So true. And on that note, Palak, moving on to the third one. Third point, Palak, is very close to my heart. It's about mom guilt and how you should not, let that trick you into believing you're not a good mom. So, yeah, I think just to summarize, Palak, mom guilt, I would say it's like that clingy ex. It just never goes away, man. Like, Aryan is about to turn 3, and some days I feel like, yeah, I'm back to my older self. I'm killing it at work. I can be away. I can do like 8 hour shift. I can travel for work. And some days I just find myself in the washroom again crying over the fact that I'm missing him. So it's just so, it's just like it never goes away, Bala. How's the situation with you?
I think the situation with me would be exactly the same. Sometimes, you just end up thinking if you're a good mom, it is unbearable. As nobody prepares you for that, by the way. Like, I remember going to work, having meltdowns, crying in the car, and coming back home to see my baby smiling. I don't know if that's a good feeling or a bad one. I think I have come to this decision where I'm never going to think that I'm not a good mom. I'm doing certain things because I want to provide for my baby. I want him to have a better life. I think social media, the unsolicited advices we receive from all over, we should not. Like, those are not reliable sources of information. That's not how people live their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, Palak, I think since you've recently started work, trust me, you'll be bombarded with so many of those questions. Like you already at birth, your baby is so small. So my advice would be just give a deaf ear because everybody around is going to trick you into that mom guilt. So you have to be so strong and so clear with your goal. It's your goals that I'm doing this for my baby. I'm doing this to raise my family, grow my family, and give them a better life. So
Yeah.
just be tone deaf.
I think the bigger problems with, like, right after your maternity leave when you go for work is that you get fixated on the big things. Why? Because you were experiencing each and everything as and when they were happening. Now there's been a shift that I see in myself is that the small wins that every day that I have with him, like, yesterday I left office at 4. It was a day where I did not have so much work. I just left. I reached home at 5:15 and it was a big win for me. So having that one extra hour, it made all the difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I have completely shifted the way I think about it and the way I, behave.
So I think that's about it. I think you can't escape the mom bit, Palak. You are going to have those days where you're gonna question yourself, is it worth it? Should I drive back home and should I take a youth or just go back to my yearly? But then on those days, like how you mentioned right now, that yeah, celebrating the small wins, appreciating that extra 1 hour you got with him, just focus on those and someday it'll make sense. Someday.
Yes, and it'll take a day pep talk and that motivational speech from either a friend or your mom.
Yeah, you do stay only you can get yourself out of that mom beat. So you need to be so headstrong about the fact that yes, I'm doing this think of the locked up thing. I'm doing this for my baby. Yeah.
I think the fourth one would be finding those small moments of self care. And those are possible. It's difficult to believe, but those are possible.
Yeah, I think self-care doesn't have to be fancy, matlab. We can find very, very small, those small windows where, we get that alone time. I don't know what are these for you, by the way. I'm curious to know.
For me, it is actually it is one cup of coffee with my favorite episode of Friends. I think it is sometimes I find it is very selfish of me to ask for that when I get back home after a long day at work. But then I realize that for me also to be present with you, I need to fill my cup first. So and if those 20 minutes make me more present with him, then I might as well be selfish and take those.
Yeah, I think all hands on being selfish, and I think if you recharge your batteries, you come back as a better mom. Then whether it's a 20-minute Netflix session. I think for me, I feel I even if it's like a Insta break for 20 minutes because I don't use phone in front of Bayan. Even if it is 10-20 minutes of binge watching any random reels on Instagram, it makes me feel like a normal person. Like otherwise, I'm just revolving or running around everywhere doing some sort of activity with him, and I'm like, what did I do for myself the entire day? So yeah, I think it doesn't have to be fancy. Some
It connects you to your older self also sometimes, which is so important. Yeah, it is very easy to lose yourself in motherhood, I think. And if possible, I think every mom should find a way to do some sort of self care for themselves.
yeah, for so true.
The fifth and the last one for all independent moms out there, start dividing the work and ask for help. It is absolutely fine. I think the journey of motherhood became better for me when I started asking for help. Very inherently we think that it is our job to take care of the baby. We have given birth to them. I think they're a piece, a part of us. So everything, whether it is cleaning them, bathing them, feeding them, and you love to do it also, but you also feel like it's your responsibility. But the day I started asking for help and dividing the work between my partner and I, it became so much easier. And the pro to it is that my partner also feels so much more connected to the baby. And
I think overall, as pala people around, whether it's your partner, whether it's your grand-in-laws that you live with, everybody around is always willing to help. It's just a fact that yeah, we need to divide, we need to allocate duties, and I think that's what has made parenting so much easier for me. Ever since I went back to work, that I started delegating things. Okay, this is something that maybe food department is something that I owe completely for Ayan, and if bathing part is something that completely my husband owns, or if there's something laundry, that is something that is completely owned by my nanny, because you practically can't do everything. So eventually, if you don't share the workload, it just builds sort of resentment that you feel like you're doing the entire thing, and you don't want to have such bad thoughts.
no, definitely you don't want to because these are very real. I mean, you can be disappointed because your husband is sleeping more than you.
Yeah.
He's
I have had those feelings that he's going through his he's watching his FIFA matches, or he's on his PS5, and I'm actually up all night feeding the baby, and there you can't deny that you start hating them for it. That I'm not getting my life back. All I'm doing is just burping, feeding the baby. That's all. So yeah,
that can be so tough. Yeah. I think dividing the work is very important. Sooner the better.
yeah, so true. So I think that brings us to the end of this episode. All the moms tuning in, and we are so glad that you're here with us. And I hope these 5 tips help you in making the transition to work easier.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not easy, but
She does initial ones, shoulders and all. I think it is very, very tough. I think 3 months into your maternity leave, you should start planning and preparing for this. Of course, there's a lot to enjoy, a lot to love. That doesn't end, but the preparation takes time. So take your time, prep yourself, and just be ready for the roller coaster that it is.
yes. And until then, don't forget to subscribe, comment, follow, and stay tuned for our next podcast coming your way very soon.